All right, boys and girls, we are going to start to create our literal text digital drawings. The first thing you're going to do when you get your Chromebook or your computer, you're going to go to google.com. In your search bar here, search for Google. Once you're in Google, boys and girls, this is how you can get to your Google Drive. See how I'm signed in right here? If this is not you, then you will need to sign in right here by typing in your Chromebook login. Once you're in here, you're going to click the grid, and this is how you're going to get to your Google Drive. So you're going to click Drive. Okay, once you're in your Google Drive, we're going to click the button that says New, and then go down and scroll to the button that says More, and it should pull up a bar here that gives you some options. You're going to go to the word Google Drawings. So click on Google Drawings. Once you're in Google Drawings, you first want to title your drawing. So just title this literal text so you know where to find it when you go back in your drive. It should save automatically for you. This is where you're going to create your drawing. So decide what your object is that you are going to represent. Mine is a guitar. So I'm going to open up a new tab here and go to Google. So I already have my Google up here. Here it is. I'm just going to search for guitar in Google Images. So once I find a good shape that I like, and look for a shape that shows the whole object, not like half the object like this one. That would be a bad example of a guitar. I couldn't fill the whole shape here. I want to look for the whole guitar all put together. So this is a good one to choose. I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to click on my keyboard, double click, and oopsie, not that. Double click, and it should open up this menu here, and I'm going to click the words copy image. So now that I've copied my image, I'm going to go back to my drive, and I can just double click again. And I'm going to paste my image. Now it's going to tell me to paste, I want to click the keyboard Command V. So on my keyboard I'm going to click Command V, and there's my guitar. Now I'm going to make my guitar a little bit bigger so it fits my whole paper here, my whole picture plane. And I can even make this a little bit bigger. There we go. As long as the whole guitar is filling inside of the square here. Okay, I want to make this as big as I possibly can so that I can make my drawing as big as I possibly can here. Now I've got my shape. It's time to fit my letters G-U-I-T-A-R in a creative way throughout my guitar here. Now this is going to be the thing that takes you the most time, filling in the letters. The tool that you are going to use is the line tool, but we're not just going to use any line here. We need to use the line that says Polyline. Polyline is a type of line that allows you to curve around a shape. So watch how I do this. I'm going to start with the letter G. I think the letter G would fit really well here since there's a big curve in the letter G. So I'm going to start here. Now it's very important that I go around the guitar. So every time I go around the guitar, I'm clicking, 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 okay? Because this is making a line. So I need to make quick little clicks so that I can curve around the guitar. So I'm clicking, clicking, clicking. Now I've got the curve of the G here, but I want to make the inside of the G. So I'm going to go up around now, clicking, clicking, clicking. Okay, so I'm trying to make the curve of the G. Oops, you know what? I made a mistake here. I think my G is supposed to go around, up, and over. Okay, so actually, you know what? I'm going to do this again. I'm going to try this again. Okay, Polyline. I'm on Polyline. Okay. Curve around the guitar. Clicking, clicking, clicking. Go all the way around. And you might make a mistake too, that's okay. That's why I clicked the undo button. Okay, around and around. Now, the G goes up like this, over like this, down. And remember, I'm trying to make kind of like a block letter G. So I'm giving myself enough space here, clicking, 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 to make the curve and the inside of the G look like a shaped letter G, not just a skinny letter G. There we go. So did you see what happened when I went back to the end here? My letter turned blue. When it turns blue, that means you've connected everything together and you've ended up at the beginning part. So you've connected the shape together from beginning to end. So now, here's what I'm going to do with my G. I like it, but I might want to edit it. So I'm going to go to the Move tool, or the Select tool. I'm going to double click on my G, and this brought up every single polyline point that I made. Every time I clicked, 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 it made a little tiny point that I can edit. So watch, I can move this point around if I wanted to make the G wider or skinnier, and I can edit that G in little tiny ways. Maybe I want the G to kind of come out a little bit more and fill more of the guitar. I can take each of these little polyline points and thicken up the G. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Maybe I want this part to come up and fill more space, I don't really like that. Maybe I'm going to keep it down. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Okay, so it looks pretty good so far. I'm going to keep it how it is right now. Oops. Double click. There we go. Just added a couple more of these. Okay, I think it looks pretty good, so I'm going to unselect now. Okay, now I'm going to repeat the same steps. Go back to Polyline. I'm going to start with my U. Now the U is going to get kind of tricky because I really have to go in the next space here and kind of curve around. Clicking, clicking, clicking around the curve. See how I went around the curve of the guitar just now? Around and around. And when I get to the bottom here, I really want to make sure that my guitar goes around very carefully around the curve here. So I'm just going to keep going around the existing curve of the guitar and then keep going up like that. Oops, you know what? I made a mistake. My polyline did not connect all together, so I'm going to undo that and undo that. Go back to Polyline and try it again. Click on Polyline and then try and curve my U again. So I'm going in the inside of the U, around the curve here, looking at the curve of the bottom here, trying to make sure I follow it. It's so important that I follow the curve and then I end up at the end there. Okay, so that U looks pretty good. Go to the select tool, double click, and maybe make some edits. Maybe I don't like how this is so jagged. I'll bring that out a little bit. And I'll edit the U a little bit. Okay, so that's the first step with our letters. We're going to start with that, just getting our letters in place. In the next video, I'm going to show you how I took the letters and I made them a different color, how I took these shapes and made them different and added some details here to my guitar, and we'll keep building up our letters here. Your only job today is to try your best to try and fit some of these letters in as best as you can to the shape of your object. All right, let's get started.